the Christ and Prophecy thing was on because I went to go clean up stuff for the football stuff and watch the recording things. I watched all the games yesterday, so all I really left on there was Zorro. But I have Zorro on YouTube, so clean up those two because I don't like commercials. Out of the night when the full moon is bright comes a horseman known as Zorro. Zorro, Zorro, the fox of cunning and free. And news, yes, and C-SPAN and Bloomberg Network too. Don't forget the NASA channel. Zorro, Zorro, the fox of cunning and free. Zorro, he makes the sign of the Z. It's the number two. No, my daughter learned it in school. It's the number two. Okay. I don't do this stuff, it's not me. It's that all I do is I just sit here and be righteous and then teach people to be righteous because it's like, okay, you sit down and go, truth. Life is eternal, grace is infinite. Okay, now understand and obey the laws and be righteous. It's that easy. I don't just, I don't make this stuff up. I just do. Right. And you're sitting there and they have this Christ and Prophecy and this guy's reading. I hate that shit. They read these books and they sit there and talk, this is great. Listen to this. This is about World War II. This is about the faces melting off of the people that make the nuclear weapons near Tularosa at the Trinity site. This is great stuff, man. And I'm like, this is horrible. I know when they had me read it in Sierra Vista, it was like, I was excited because it's like, good, it's over. It's coming to an end. That's the only thing that made me excited. But I also felt, when Honest Abe heard the news about the fall, folks thought he threw a great victory ball, but he asked the band to say the song Dixie for you, Johnny Reb, and all that you believe, but you fought all the way. And that's what when you go to a church, that's what you get. The South will rise again. We will own them niggers, own our wives and children, and have a plantation. That's what church is. Okay. We used to build the pyramids, and we used to own those motherfuckers, and they built our pyramids. Them ugly white motherfuckers that look like a rat. Peter Pettigrew was cleaning my toilet. Okay. And if his wife was hot enough, she was sucking my dick. And then I had her children as house servants. I am Pharaoh, and I support this time. Do you remember the time we fell in love? Right? Do you understand? And that's the dysfunction, dysfunction junction. What's your function? Tribal warfare and thinking with our genitals. Okay, and that's what you're like, good gravy, these people are wacko. The Goag and Goag, that was Germany with the World War II, with the, Goag and Moag. And then they'll kill this many people, and then it'll be like a river, then there's the ram and the goat, and Stalin lied. He was born in January. His psychic, they lied because they were following the stuff. And Steinschneider told Hitler, he's lying to you. He's a Capricorn. He behaves just like a Capricorn. He does everything like a Capricorn. You're stupid. You're an Aries, and you're going to go in, boom, I'm going to win. It's like you're going to lose. The only way to win is not to fight. And Hitler didn't kill Steinschneider, doesn't listen. And bam, we have the Book of Daniel. There it is. And then we go to church and say, I believe the South will rise again. I will believe we will own them niggers and fuck them and kill them if they don't like us fucking them. And then we can own our wives and children. And then, along came Jones. And then I get the paper. I read it through and through. And my girl never fails to say, if there is any work for me. So you need to get a girl, okay, that will tolerate you, put up with you. So you can put on a show for the money, and for all the people that say, I have to put on a show. Don't put on a show, be you. But I don't think it's you. I think you're a brain injury from a science project from a bunch of pervert scientists that are, this is funny, we're going to do this. They laugh. Sierra Vista. It was horrible. They're worse in Sierra Vista than they are here. Because the Wi-Fi is better in Sierra Vista. We're going to have this guy's son being a homosexual. And then this guy's, what's he going to do about it? Is he still going to love his kid? It's the one he favors the most, and he's a faggot. Wait, that's just mean. Knock it off. He's not gay. He just feels like there's no hope for the world, and he doesn't want to have children. But he's having to appease his parents. Like, they're broken. They can't get past tomorrow. They can't even kill yesterday in their head. They hate themselves for what they did yesterday. They hate themselves today, and they hate what they're going to do tomorrow. It's horrible what these scientists do. That's Judo didn't get it with the whole thing with who in their right mind would understand that, why they're trying to promote homosexuality. It's to torture people that are self-righteous and to kill their children off with sodomy or shutting down your kidneys because you lick coochie too much. All things in moderation. Okay. That's something you do when you're young, but even then you don't have to. You don't have to. Oral sex is, I never, when I was a kid, I was raised Mormon, so I didn't, and it was a bisexual from Syracuse that talked me and my girlfriend into it. I was like, wow, she's fun to but wasn't necessary. I had just as much fun without oral sex as with. I just, I'm more of a kisser than I am, I'd rather kiss a woman's mouth than lick her clitoris. Wouldn't you? I mean, when you meet somebody, aren't you a little bit more like Diana Ross? And half the words she said to me were missing because my mind was so intent on kissing. I thought it took a little time to learn about love and never did believe in love. And on side, I thought one of my favorites when I was a kid, in the midst of conversation, I looked into her eyes and all through the conversation, much to my own surprise afterwards. It's a good song. You ever heard it? It's really good. It's really romantic and stuff. It's right up with there. It's more hopeful. It's what leads you to the way of love and share. When you meet a girl that you like a lot and you fall in love, but she loves you not. If a flame should start, Michael knows what I'm talking about. He had that thing over, Diana Ross. Yeah. If a flame should start as you hold her near, better keep your soul out of danger, dear. 'Cause the way of love is the way of woe, and the day may come when you see him go. When what will you do? It was, no, Diana was like, no, you're too young. It would never work. It's, you're sweet. Yeah, Michael Jackson's first heartbreak. He fell in love with Diana Ross. Yeah. Just like my mom. Carol, yeah. If I was a guy, I'd follow her around the world. Mom, that's a little weird. You women are weird. You stalkers are crazy. Just go stock some self at the stores and leave me alone. No more stores. Forget that trespass level. I got you. Now, women, when they obsess on something, boy, they get, and then they get it. Then you're like, Stan, you may find that wanting can be more pleasurable than having. Okay. Nothing's beyond repair. Nothing's beyond repair. When people make decisions, if you listen with the soul here is greater than the mind. Do you understand? So when you're doing that which is right to honor thy mother and father, it will save you from mind fucking from pervert scientists that puka. They're not living up to the Huachuca Mountains means the bringers of thunder. Okay. We live here because it brings in the rain, and we didn't get the ore out, and everybody's looking at the ore still. They may have hollowed those things out. They just invented some kind of crazy fucking thing to bring the rain in, so it acts like the ore's still in there. We're talking about scientists, assholes. That's horrible to do, those beautiful mountains, I know. But you're talking about scientists, they don't care. I can, it's Michael Crichton and Jeff Goldblum. You're so busy asking yourself if you could do something, you never ask yourself if you should. Geologist, your ice cream's melting, get out of here. Right? So that guy told me that, and it's like, I sat there and I said, anything superstitious people do that lines up a religion is sheer luck. I said, do you ever think that the Chiricahua people would rather have a clay pot to get water in than have an iron pot with no water? You gonna come shoot me in the face? I'm gonna chase you across the Yellowstone? You gonna have your business partners stab me in the back? Listen to me. Your horse is crazy. You cannot ride it because you're out of balance, you're out of harmony, you're not living the ways of Jesus Christ. I am the hawk and there's love on my feathers. You don't get it? Thanks. Brian Manwaring does. But what about Custer? I don't think Custer's ever going to get it. I just don't think so. I don't think the Custers are capable of living the Gospels. I think they're too ambitious, and I think they will tell themselves, even if they'll sit down and go, okay, he's right. It's like Schindler's List, I pardon you. And Oscar Schindler leaves to shoot him. Pow! Yeah, that's the Custers. It's just the way they are. Once they've been given a taste of fight for the fuck for the buck, they can't stop. Now, from cradle to grave, that's different. If we're living King Solomon's Israel, from cradle to grave, anytime the boys, you thinking, you gotta cut the nuts off and rape. Pow! Think that way again, motherfucker. I will knock the taste of you. Your grandma will beat you till you can't walk. You'll be in a wheelchair going, what happened? Grandma got pissed off because I said, remember the good old days when we used to eunuch and rape? What happened? Grandma kicked me in both knees. What happened? She snapped them both backwards. It was crazy. She's Grandma, don't make Grandma Emily mad. Okay? She'll snatch your ball. Ask Aunt Natalie. You know? Child's in a wheelchair, but at least he ain't thinking about eunuching and raping anymore. Yeah, was it grandma kicking him or was it diabetes? What does it matter? If you disable yourself because you're being abused and you want to die. Lopez doesn't get it. She's like, why aren't you doing this and that? Lord's Prayer first, woman. God dang, you're such a... I understand it's a brain injury, and I understand it's women are receivers and men are transmitters. I get the whole point. Stop crying and screaming and yelling at me. You are such a brat. You know, stand up for a Lord's Prayer, and then we'll arrange the conditions. We'll go to a picnic, and we'll sit and talk, and then we'll see where things go from there. How about that? That's the best invitation I've given anybody who's famous. Okay? You stand up for a Lord's Prayer. We have a barbecue. You show up. We sit down and we talk. We smile for a little and stuff. You do smell good. I hate you. You're obnoxious. Of course I'm obnoxious. You already knew that by watching my videos. Okay? I thought you said you'd lose it and get all. Yeah, I am. Inside I'm going, oh my God, she's gorgeous and I feel like I want to pee. Hey, Alex, how's it going? Okay, out of the Shark Tank. Good. Okay. You know Alex? Of course I know Alex. You know his daughters. You know how much I love his daughters. I love everybody's daughters. But yeah, they're so fun. Tasha, Tasha, Nasha, hey, girls, how you doing? Kick daddy if he thinks about anything that has to do with money. Kick him right in the butt and laugh. Oh, he has to take it. He knows that. Oh, Patrick's right there. Okay. Don't want to piss off Patrick. Nobody wants to piss off Patrick. He's more scared of Patrick than me. Well, David Solomon. Actually, Solomon will tell you. No, actually, if you go read the book, Solomon has to have other people help him defend Israel. David, when the Holy Spirit goes through him, because he's the line of Adam, Moses, David, Jesus, John, everybody was running, what? He's the sweetest guy in the world. What just happened? You wanted to eunuch and rape? Okay. And everybody's scared of Solomon. That's because Solomon is more like the people and has to remind himself to be humble. Because the Holy Spirit doesn't go through him like it does. They chose the spirit of David and John, and Jesus is a God. So the energy goes through me. And you don't want it. It's absolute torture. They all hate you and want you dead because they want to be the cartoon character in their head instead of love you the way you love them. It's horrible. I know. Thanks, Lopez. Okay. You're cute. Okay. You better show up soon, man, because I'm feeling nearly Nicolette Larson. These people are mean. Okay. Hello, stranger. Meanie, you better. Bring the Goldsteinberg guy with you and we could be friends. We don't have to get busy. We can just be friends. Living the Lord's Prayer and being friends is awesome. Okay, Amy Winehousers?